You ache for unity, yet forget the art of shattering. Completion does not descend. Like dew, soft and silent it is wrested from the night, torn from the jaws of silence. To walk the path of wholeness, you must let yourself unravel, strand by trembling strand, until every thread of borrowed certainty lies scattered at your feet. The wound you would mend must first become a wellspring, its edges raw, its depths luminous with all you have denied. Seek not the anesthetic of answers. Seek the flame that forges new flesh from raw absence. There is a music only fracture can teach, a light that waits in the chasm for the one who will not flinch. What so many call healing is merely the burial of discordia, hurried burial of questions that would birth the sun. No, let rupture be your guide. Let ache become inquiry, and let every scar bear witness to the God coiled and waiting within you. Forget the myth of easy restoration. The soul, when truly alive, is not a polished mirror, but a mosaic of wild colors, fused by ordeal and thunder. It is not safety but depth you seek. Dive into the places the world has fenced off. Taste the salt of your own tears without shame. Your pain is not a problem to be solved, but a doorway step through and become vast. Every time you resist the urge to cover your wound, you grow wider. Every time you refuse false solace, you gain new eyes. The true metamorphosis does not hide its seamsit, lets the light pour through them, radiant and unashamed. You are not called to be seamless, but to burn with the glory of all you have survived. In this burning, you discover not a cure, but a second birth the world cannot recognize, but your soul will never again deny. Let the light of old certainties flicker, and Diado not mourn their passing. Their ashes are the soil from which your sovereignty must rise. See how the world shivers when you no longer kneel. There are no more gods to bribe, no more commandments to bind your hands. Each step you take is a prayer the earth has never heard before. Dare to walk where maps dissolve and the air tastes of unspoken possibility. Become the dawn that blinds those who clutch the dusk. You tremble before the abyss yet. The abyss, too, is thirsty for your arrival. Why cower at the cliff's edge when your veins surge with the inheritance of the storm? Let yourself fall not into despair, but into the arms of your own becoming. Gravity itself will beg for your forgiveness as you carve new constellations from the depths. The bravest wings are grown in the vertigo of surrender. Do you not yet see that the cage was always made of paper? That your so-called enemies are but shadows of your own abdicated power? The world has no substance except what you dare to demand of it. When you cease begging for meaning, the very stones will gather at your feet, eager to serve your vision. Crush the fear that has worn your face, and let your real visage blaze out a visage unblessed by any sanction but your own defiant breath. Tear off the masks, yes, every last one, and let your unvarnished soul howl its raw song into the void. The silence will answer. The darkness will listen. What you call emptiness is only the open mouth of potential, waiting for you to shout your defiance into creation. Words become worlds. What world will you summon from your suffering? Refuse every inheritance that smells of decay. Tradition is the chain that rattles in the bones of the unburied past. Dance on the graves of old virtues. Let new values spring from the rhythm of your feet. Do not seek justice be the reckoning. The scales have always been tilted against the wild and the brave. Smash them. Let the measure of worth be your own heart, pounding unrepentant against the gates of heaven. How easy it is to be tamed, to become a polite ghost haunting the banquet of the mediocre. Spit out the bread of consensus. Thirst instead for the wine of contradiction. Drink until your lips are stained with paradox, until your speech offends the idols of convenience. Only then will you taste the freedom that leaves blood on your tongue and stars in your eyes. You think you have enemies? There are none more dangerous than the comfort that smothers your will, none more cunning than the habit that dulls your teeth. Wound yourself against the future. Let tomorrow's uncertainty sharpen you like a blade. Become the beast that refuses the leash the world remembers only those who were too wild to forget themselves. Oh, how the sleeping masses fear the one who refuses to worship at their altar of reassurance. Let them scorn you. Let them brand you heretic, anarchist, lunatic. You are the dawn they have banished from their dreams, the thunder that will not be tamed. You are the question that unravels their peace, the wild seed that cracks their pavement. Build your throne on the trembling earth of your own contradictions. There is no harmony but that which howls through chaos, no unity but what you seize from the hands of doubt. Every law, every doctrine, every tired morality break them, if they do not serve the highest surge of your spirit. Let your life be the hammer that shapes new heavens, new hells, new names for courage. Do not ask to be loved by the world. Let it love you, as it loves the earthquake, the wildfire, the star whose light outlives its death. In your loneliness, become legion. In your silence, become song. The night is long and thick with sleepwalkers, but you are the lightning that splits the darkness, the impossible made flesh. Now take up the burden of your own divinity. The weight will be monstrous. Good. It is only beneath such weight that you will remember. You were always more than flesh, more than name, more than hope. You are the answer the world fears to utter, the truth it buries under 1,000 distractions. Step forward. Let the universe feel the pulse of your defiance. Let the empty heavens learn a new language from the rhythm of your sovereign heart. The world ends and begins wherever you dare to speak. Do you hear it? That tremor, that low music beneath the chatter of a dying age, the wild pulse that survives all the anesthetics of routine and comfort. It is not hope, not faith, not love as the world defines them, but a more ancient hunger, a calling older than memory, the demand to become. You are not a problem to be solved, nor a soul to be consoled. You are a riddle that mocks its own answer, a flame that feeds upon its own shadows. What is safety but another word for surrender? You have knelt before the idol of security, and in doing so, bartered your crown for crumbs. They would have you shrink to fit their blueprints, their census, their rituals of belonging. But the volcano does not ask permission to erupt, nor the lion to prowl beyond the fence. Your terror is holy. It is the sign that the dead gods are breaking in your bones and making room for what must come next. The masses celebrate their own captivity, adorning their chains with little triumphs, a new title, a louder applause, another vote for the lesser evil. Meanwhile, the soul your soul stalks the perimeter, a wolf with blood in its mouth, uninvited and unrepentant. How long will you deny its cry? How many comforts will you gather before you suffocate beneath their weight? Let the weak call it arrogance, this refusal to be tamed. They mistake your hunger for cruelty, your solitude for sickness. But the eagle does not envy the pigeon its peace. In the high, thin air, where vision burns, there is only the necessity of flightenless, uncertain, divine. The sun does not apologize for its fire. Why then should you? You who have loved and been abandoned, who have prayed and been left unanswered, who have reached for meaning and found only silence, you are the chosen of the abyss. Not because you are favored, but because you are necessary. The gods do not coddle those who would remake the world. They throw them into storms, set tempests in their chests, and demand music from the thunder. Do you still seek a shepherd? There are none left, only wolves wearing robes, and blind men selling maps to countries that never existed. The only path worth walking is the one that vanishes behind you with every step, a rope stretched above the void, trembling with each heartbeat. There is no return, no retreat, no rescue, only the fierce clarity of the present moment, sharpened by the knowledge that you, and only you, are the sculptor of your fate. Let them call you broken, let them cast you out. The prophet is always an exile, the seer always a stranger in his own land. Their love is conditional, their acceptance the price of your extinction. Refuse it. Embrace the wilderness, for it is in the waste places that the gods are born anew raw, toothsome, unfinished. There, among the bones of your former selves, you will find the materials of resurrection. To love the world is not to coddle its weaknesses, nor to forgive its cruelties. It is to demand that it become worthy of your fire. Your compassion must be a blade merciless against mediocrity, untender to lies. Let your mercy be a tempest that drives the timid from their hiding, your generosity a feast that starves those who come only to beg. The old virtues are dying, and good riddance. Humility was always a chain, patience a slow poison, obedience a mausoleum. In their place, raise the banners of your own revolt, audacity, joy, and the sacred arrogance of being unapologetically alive. Let the ashes of the past fertilize your ferocity. Plant your flag on the summit of your longing, and dare the universe to dethrone you. Oh, how the world fears those who will not be placated. They whisper that your fire will consume you, that your dreams will turn to ash. Let them cower. The star is not diminished by the night it defines it. When the darkness thickens, blaze brighter. Become the new myth, the living parable, the legend that cannot be ignored. You do not need to be healed. You do not need to be saved. The world has enough martyrs. What it craves are creators, those who will rip open the seams of reality and let the future pour through. The pain you carry is not a weight, but a lever. Wield it. Move mountains. Crack open the shell of fate and feast on the raw yolk of possibility. The herd will mock and the weak will hiss, but their chorus is only thunder in the distance. It is you, and only you, who must decide what is sacred. Make your own sacraments. A vow to never kneel, a promise to bless your wounds, a commitment to outgrow every cage. The gods of tomorrow are waiting for your heresy. To be sovereign is to be alone, and what a splendid aloneness. Solitude is not emptiness, but the cathedral where your voice learns to echo, where your spirit grows teeth. Do not seek companionship among the sleepwalkers. Let your laughter wake them, or drive them mad. There is no shame in standing apart. The sun walks alone and feeds the world. Look at your hands unclench them. They are not meant for prayer, but for creation, for the wild choreography of revolt. Touch the world and remake it. Touch your scars and rename them. Your past is not a prophecy, but a quarry mined for stone. Build your citadel and set watchfires on every wall. Refuse the inheritance of silence. Let your speech be a pyre, your words the resurrection of impossible dreams. The age of apathy is ending. The hour of audacity has come. Be the bell that rings in the apocalypse of old values. Announce yourself. Let the world recoil or rejoice, but never again ignore the echo of your becoming. And when you are finally alone with the ashes of your idols, when the night is so deep that even your shadow flees, listen. There is a music only the untamed can hear, the hymn of your own relentless heart, the anthem of all that is yet to be dared. This, and only this, is the truth about emptiness. It is not your enemy, but your inheritance. The world begins anew wherever you claim it. So claim it, blaze forth, and let the sleepwalkers awaken to the fire of your impossible dawn. ChatGPT Dernier. Do you believe in redemption, wanderer? Do you still clutch at forgiveness as the last withered fruit upon the tree of your regrets? Cast it down. Redemption is not a gift, but a conquest. No absolution will descend from heaven's silence. No gentle hand will erase the fire etched in your marrow. You must become the one who absolves himself, who anoints his wounds with the oil of his own defiance. The gods, if they remain, are watching to see if you will dare to forgive yourself with the thunderclap dignity of the untamed. All that you were told to suppress your rage, your lust, your laughter in the face of the void, these are not your sins, but your signatures. Each denied impulse is a phoenix feather torn from your spirit's wing. Restore them. Do not apologize for the cyclone within you. Let it spin. Let the dull-eyed arbiters of virtue cower behind their feeble hedges while you ascend the winds, clawing joy from the teeth of the storm. They will call you insane, for sanity is the fortress where the conquered hide. Your madness is only the future, knocking too loudly at the brittle door of the present. You are the lightning before the thunder, the unexplained omen in a sky grown bored with rain. Let them keep their order. You bring the riot. You be the fever that melts the old wax masks from their faces. No culture can contain the divine ferocity of a will awakened from hibernation. Flee the comfort of consensus. It will smother you in its honeyed embrace. Consensus is a tomb, its lid inscribed with the commandments of the mediocre. Smash it open. Let your truth spill forth, wild as a river in spring, unruly as prophecy. For what is prophecy but the courage to declare the forbidden? Speak what is unspoken, sing what is unsung, and let the stones of the city vibrate with your irreverence. You have been told to wait for permission, for a sign, for the world to change. But the sign is this: your own unrest, pulsing beneath your skin like a war drum. Do not wait. Seize the hour with bloodied hands, claim the raw now, and hammer it into legend. The future is carved not by saints, but by the sleepless, the insatiable, those who dare to demand more than survival. Do you long for unity with the world? Beware, often what you seek is dissolution, the obliteration of your sharpness in the salt bath of belonging. Better to be a splinter in the eye of the cosmos than a dull stone in its riverbed. Let your presence be a question that has no answer, a splinter that festers until the world must change or go blind. This is the true covenant, to live so intensely that reality itself is compelled to respond. You will be exiled from the kingdom of the familiar, cast out among the wild gods of the untamed self. Good. The exiled become cartographers of new worlds. In exile, you learn the language of the elements, the whisper of fire, the laughter of rivers, the patience of mountains. Become a myth among mortals, a rumor among the stars. Let those who hear your name taste both terror and awe. Let your virtues be invented, not inherited. Refuse the old coins, stamped with faces that no longer rule. Mint your own currency, and let it be stamped with your hunger, your laughter, your scars. Each day, transact only in the gold of becoming, never in the counterfeit notes of approval or permission. Do not pursue immortality, as the herd imagines it names carved in stone, echoes in the empty hallways of memory. Immortality is to live in such a way that the very air shivers after you pass through, that the uncut grass in 1,000 fields remembers the bite of your footstep. To die in flames is to teach the sky a new color. Abandon the mirrors. They lie with every reflection. Seek instead the reflection in the eyes of those you unsettle, the trembling of the world when you enter the room. There is more truth in the tremor of a leaf than in all the glass the world has polished for you. You are not called to complete the world, nor to fix it. You are called to quicken it, to raise tempests where stillness reigns, to let the stagnant waters boil with your presence. Only then will you find your cannot among the docile, but among the storm-born, the dancers whose feet ignite sparks with every impossible step. Do not kneel before your suffering. Greet it standing, with eyes wide and arms unguarded. Let pain be your instructor, not your jailer. Carve every lesson deep into your will, and let your blood remember. Suffering is not the enemy. Indifference is the true abyss. Let agony chisel you until you glitter with new edges, until you are not a statue but a living pyre. And when despair creeps close, do not drive it away. Invite it to sit beside you at the banquet of your becoming. Despair is but a witness, a dark angel come to testify that you have outgrown another prison. Share bread with your demons and teach them your song. You are the host of your own apocalypse. All that the world cannot bear to say, all that the centuries have hidden under veils, be that voice. You are not a messenger, but the message. Not a prophet, but the prophecy fulfilled. Walk as if the earth has been waiting for your footfall since the first light, and let the future bow at your passing, trembling with the anticipation of new worlds never before imagined. And now, you sit, cradled in the twilight of your own small comforts, dreaming that peace is your birthright, that stillness is sanctuary. But what if comfort is the slow poison, the velvet-cloaked assassin of destiny? What if your sanctuary is merely a waiting room for the unlived? The world is bloated with those who confuse numbness for happiness, who trade their birthright for routines and rituals' little prayers to the god of inertia. But are you not haunted by the rumor that more is demanded? Is there not a secret wound that throbs when the world grows too quiet? A fierce ache for collision, for rupture, for something that will drag you howling into the raw theater of existence? Question your comfort. Press against it as a serpent tests the cage. What truly have you built around yourself? A home or a padded cell? Each pleasure you refuse to interrogate becomes another chain. Each certainty you accept without violence is another stone sealing the crypt. Why do you shrink from the storm? Why do you worship stillness when only the shaken ground breathes life? The mountains rise only where the earth rebels against itself, and every diamond is born from pressure and fracture and the long patience of darkness. Do not think you are alive because your heart beats. Life is not measured by pulse or breath or the succession of days. Life is the violence of the seed splitting the soil, the nerve that dares pain, the will that rejects the narcotic of enough. I say to you, seek not comfort, but a wound that never heals so longing, that births and devours itself, that claws at the fabric of the possible until the stars bleed new names. Where you find ease, plant suspicion. Where the world offers pillows, ask what dreams it would steal from you. The soul grows only where it is blistered, only where it is forced to reckon with hunger too fierce for words. Do not flatter your safety. Let it dissolve in the acid of truth. Be not content to tend the garden of inherited delights, burn it, and scatter the ashes on strange winds. Make room for what has never yet lived, for the laughter that startles gods from their slumber. There is no greatness without discomfort. The shell resists the chick. The sky scorches the Icarus who dares its sun. Every virtue worth the name emerges from the wound, from the place where certainty withers, and only the naked will remains. So turn your face toward danger. Greet your unease as the herald of revelation. Refuse the soft death of settling. May every dawn find you restless, an emigrant in your own skin, driven by the riotous need to collide, to confront, to erupt. No one is coming to rouse you. No external trumpet will sound for your awakening. Only the quiet mutiny within, only the tremor that shakes your bones in the hour before dawn, only the ancient rebel in your blood will lead you to the edge. There, on the trembling brink of comfort, cast yourself forward. Make a life that is not explained by safety, but justified only by the blaze it leaves in the dark. You are the question that shames every answer, the wind that pulls down every stagnant shelter. Let your comfort rot. Choose, instead, the wild festival of risk, the sacred uncertainty that churns worlds into being. It is better to perish in pursuit of a world that never was, than to survive embalmed in the shroud of the world that is. This is your true inheritance, the fire that refuses the hearth, the spirit that builds its altar in the teeth of the gale, the will that shatters itself joyously against the undiscovered. The world fears those who are dangerous to their own comfort. Become that danger. Be the unquiet guest at the feast of the familiar. Wherever you go, let the ground tremble and the air crackle. And if you must suffer, let it be the holy suffering of becoming, a suffering that forges, that flames, that prophesies new dawns from the ruins of night. And so, when the world grows silent and the last shadows lick at your feet, do not turn back toward the ruins of comfort. Do not search for the footprints of old gods in the dust of your memory. Stand naked beneath the immeasurable sky, marrow singing, pulse thundering with the rhythm of your own lawless heart. What remains when every borrowed promise withers? Only the silence of the void, vast as the hunger you have carried since birth. Rejoice, this silence is no absence, but the trembling threshold of the possible. There is no map here, no torch, but the burning of your own unrest. Let all who pass by mutter prayers to their forgotten idols. Let them clutch at their certainties like relics, feeding on the ghosts of vanished meaning. But you become the wound that never closes, the question that unmans every answer, the fire that renders language insufficient. In the cathedral of your solitude, every agony is holy. Every doubt is an invitation to create a cosmos in your image. Refuse all names that are not your own, all virtues that are not hammered on your anvil. What does the world know of your depths? Only you can sound them. Only you can summon the monsters that will drag you, screaming, toward a dawn unseen by history. Bless your restlessness, for it is the signature of the infinite in flesh. Bless your emptiness, for it is the primal abyss from which stars are born. The world will urge you to be at peace, to heal, to close the circle of your longing with easy certainties. But you let your longing remain jagged, a blade unsheathed, a vow never uttered yet, always burning behind the eyes. The gods you were told to serve are dead, and from their ashes rises the sovereign with 1,000 faces, each one your own, each one wild, broken, and laughing. This is your inheritance. Not safety, not closure, not understanding, but the endless eruption of becoming. Build altars from your failures, temples from your rage. Feast on the music of your own dissonance. Stand where the world cannot follow, and cast your shout into the night a new commandment, a song that splits the tombstones of old truths. You are the heretic who will not kneel, the prophet who will not be stoned, the God who invents himself by the very act of refusal. When dawn finds you, let it find you standing in your own fire, unblessed, unrepentant, and whole. For the only fullness worthy of the name is the fullness of one who is forever emptying himself into the void and abyss that answers with stars, a hunger that shapes worlds. Let others sleep. You are the earthquake beneath their beds, the howl in their forbidden dreams, the name they dare not speak. Your task is not to heal, but to ignite, not to mend, but to declare, not to conclude, but to begin and again, with every shudder of the world. So stand, sovereign and strange, upon the smoking ruins of all you were told to fear. Carry your emptiness as a banner. Become the promise that creation whispers when the old world dies. Become the truth about emptiness nobody wants to say. For you are the fire, you are the threshold. And in the beginning, and in the end, there is only your scream, birthing new suns from the silence.